Good afternoon, and welcome back to True Gunners TV. Hope you are all well. Big up yourselves, big up everybody watching, big up everybody who subscribed to the channel as well. And if you haven't done that, make sure you go and do that. We're back again with another match preview. Arsenal taking on Tottenham in the North London derby, the fixture that all Arsenal and Tottenham fans look for when the fixture list comes out at the beginning of the season. It could be huge. It could be a huge game for both sides. Of course, we know Tottenham and Arsenal are both up there fighting for a place in the Champions League spots in the top four. However, there is a little bit of a situation that emerged yesterday, and it brings us round to our very first question, which is: will the game be postponed? Now, that is the question that is burning on everybody's lips. We are sat here waiting, still waiting even now, to find out if this game will go ahead. Of course, as we all know, Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have made a formal request to the Premier League to postpone this match. Now, of course, we played Liverpool on Thursday in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. A much changed team, although it was quite a strong side, I would say. But yes, we have made a formal request for this game to be postponed, purely and simply because of players that are missing through COVID, through injury, through the AFCON. How do I feel about this? I'm not so sure. Of course, like I said, as we know, players that are out, Martin Odegaard, he has COVID at the moment. Tomiyasu is nursing an injury, as well as Emil Smith-Rowe. Of course, we all know as well that the other night, Cedric came off injured as well. So that leaves us very short in the right-back position. Bukayo Saka limping off towards the end of the game. And then this absolute fucking clown getting himself sent off as well. And getting himself a 2-match ban, which includes the North London derby. So that leaves us very, very short, especially when you think that Thomas Partey, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Mohamed El Neni, and Nicola Pepe are all away at the AFCON. First of all, before we move on, big up Aubameyang. I hope this guy, he gets better soon. We all heard yesterday, if you didn't hear, that Aubameyang was supposed to be playing for Gabon yesterday. Of course, we all know he got COVID when he flew out to Cameroon. He was supposed to return from COVID yesterday. However, the African confederations would not allow him to play the game because he's been having heart lesions after having COVID. I hope this guy gets better soon. And appreciation there for Aubameyang. And get well soon, mate. Get well soon. I've had COVID myself, so I know exactly. Not exactly, but I know exactly how tough it can be to get yourself back to 100% fitness once again. But anyway, as I say, the North London derby, could it be postponed? We're still waiting. The Premier League, they have not come out as of yet, or as I've seen. I do keep checking my phone for any breaking news to let us know whether this game will be postponed or not. Now, what that tells me is the longer that this drags on, the more I think that this game will be postponed. Because if, for example, they come out at, 3:00 this afternoon and say, no, the game's going ahead, then I worry about preparation, especially for Arsenal. They're expecting the game to be postponed. Tottenham even are expecting the game to be postponed. How well prepped will these teams be to play this game tomorrow? Do you know what I mean? So I do think it will be postponed. I don't agree with it. Even though I'm an Arsenal fan, I don't agree with it. That legislation was put in place mainly for COVID cases, and Arsenal, at the moment, as far as we are aware, only have the one COVID case. Yes, we have issues with injury, and yes, we have players away at AFCON. However, there's a 25-man squad there for a reason. There are under 18s for a reason. There are under 21s for a reason. There is no reason why we cannot play these players. But at the same time, I also respect Mikel Arteta and Arsenal for putting in that request, because they clearly realise how important this game is for our season. And can we really afford just to play a few kids, and potentially get absolutely slapped up by Tottenham as well, At the end of the day, Tottenham, they haven't been very good this season, but with the likes of Harry Kane and, I know they're missing players as well, but with the likes of Harry Kane and top players that they do have, they can hurt teams, and especially teams that are ill prepared and are playing kids that are just not ready to be in the first team in the Premier League. So I do understand why Arsenal have put in that request. Do I think it's right? I don't know. And I also feel as well that even if we play a similar side to what played against Liverpool with a few kids chucked in there, I'm sorry, but I just feel like we have got a chance against Tottenham. I really do. As I said, they've been very poor themselves this season. So yeah, in my opinion, this game should go ahead. And yeah, it is what it is. We'll wait and see what happens. As I say, no news as of yet. But yeah, there we go. So this brings us on to the next question. How important is this game for Arsenal if it does go ahead? It's huge. There's no question about it. It is huge. Arsenal currently sitting in 5th place. West Ham, I believe, are 1 point in front of us with a game, a game played extra. So they've played one more game than us. Tottenham sitting 1 point behind, sitting 2 points behind us with 2 games in hand. So if they was to win this game, they would go 1 point above us with 2 games in hand as well. I believe them games in hand are against Burnley and Leicester. So 2 games that are winnable for Tottenham and could put them 7 points clear of Arsenal. So it's a massive, massive game. It is a huge, huge game for our season. Not just because it's the North London derby for once, every single season we play the North London derby, and it doesn't really mean too much. Of course, it means a massive amount to us, the fans, because they're our neighbours and we always want to beat Tottenham. But in terms of league standings and who could potentially get this and who could potentially get that, it doesn't normally mean too much, In the Arsene Wenger days, Arsenal were almost pretty much a guarantee for top 4. Tottenham were sort of lingering around in mid-table position. And now we had a couple of seasons where Tottenham were sort of guarantees for top 4 and Arsenal were lingering about in mid-table position. And now both teams are sort of mid-table to top 4 teams. So it does mean a little bit more than what it would do in them terms. And look, as I said, huge game. It'll be interesting to see if it goes ahead. And yeah, of course, we know as well, Sky Sports reporting that Tottenham were very unhappy that Arsenal have tried to, postpone this game. And it kind of makes Arsenal fans look stupid as well, because we created an uproar when Liverpool postponed the game for the first leg of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. So we need to be careful here as well as Arsenal fans. It's all right sitting here and saying, oh, yes, postponing the game, we're short of players, this, that and the other. But just remember, it wasn't that long ago that you was creating uproar because of the Liverpool situation, because of the false positives and all that lot. I'll sit here and I'll say, look, Liverpool, mate, yeah? False positive FC. You did that to get a stronger team out against us. You still couldn't beat us. But I'll also sit here and say that this game here should go ahead. It should go ahead, in my opinion. Moving on to the next question. Can Arsenal make top 4? Yes. Yes, we can. We have a strong enough team to make top 4. A lot relies on this game, so it's going to be, as I say, we're still waiting, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Is it going to be postponed? Is that going to allow Arsenal to have an extra week or two to prepare for this game? Maybe get a few players back from injury and play a stronger squad than what we would have done if the game was still going ahead tomorrow. Who knows? But as I say, a lot relies on this game. If the game goes ahead and we lose, we could find ourselves 7 points behind Tottenham by the time they've played their games in hand. If the game goes ahead and we beat Tottenham, mate, Spurs fans, you better hide. You better hide, because if we chuck out kids and we still beat you at your ground, that just goes to show how shit you lot really, really are. But not only that, I look at this situation as well. We're asking for the game to be postponed because we're short in terms of players. Apparently, Granit Xhaka is the tipping point of that, because he got himself sent off. He's now not available. If he had been available, we would have had enough players. I call bullshit to that. I really do. How can one player be the tipping point between whether we can play this game or not? But I also want to look at these 3 clowns as well. And I'm going to call them clowns because at the end of the day, it's COVID season. It has been for the past year, 2 years now. Yeah. We don't know what players are going to be available on a week-by-week basis because of COVID being so strife in this country at the moment. You know, it doesn't matter if all your players are fit. If one contracts COVID, they can't play. If 2 contract COVID, they can't play. So my position on this is, well, we've allowed 2 to 3 players to leave the football club on loan without getting a replacement. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Balogun, being the 2 main examples. We've allowed them to leave. We haven't brought in replacements. That is ill preparation from Arsenal. And that is why we don't have enough players in order to be able to play this game, apparently. So I kind of look at the board as well, and the business or the lack of business that they've done in the transfer market. 15 days in, we know we're desperate for a midfielder, even with all our players back. We know we're desperate for a striker. And nothing has happened in terms of incomings. So there's a lot of things to look at with this as well. You know, are we postponing the game because of injuries, COVID, AFCON? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Other teams have done that. But at the same time, why don't we have enough players? Because you've allowed 2 to 3 players to leave and haven't replaced them. So that is on you, Mikel Arteta. That is on you, Edu. That is on you, Vinay. We need to start moving a bit quicker within the transfer market. I don't know if there's any news yet. Guys, have you heard anything more on this postponement? Is the game going ahead? Mate, what is going on? You would have thought the Premier League would have let us know by now. They've had well over 24 hours, really, because, well, not even quite 24 hours, but they've had plenty of time to let the fans and let people know. That's the other thing as well. Think of how many fans. I know it's only Tottenham, so it is literally down the road for the Arsenal fans, or the majority of Arsenal fans. But we have a global fan base. So if people are travelling over from America, from other parts of the UK to go and watch this game, and then they're told at 3 o'clock this afternoon that the game has been cancelled, you've already made your preparations for your travel. You've already, some people might even already be on a flight. Some people might even have had a flight over to the UK expecting this game to go ahead, and then all of a sudden the news has come out that it might not. So, from a fan's perspective as well, the FA, the Premier League, need to get their fingers out of their arse. We need to know what is happening with this game. And then the last question that I'm going to pose to you guys as well. And of course, let me know in the comments section about all the rest of the questions that I've posed so far. So the first one being, will the game be postponed? The second one, how important is this game for Arsenal? Can Arsenal make the top four? And the final question is, if this game goes ahead, what is your score prediction? Now, I know that is a very difficult question to answer because we don't know what players are going to be available. But if this game goes ahead, I'm going to go and stick my neck on the line. And I'm going to say, look, even if we have one or two of the first team players missing and we have to play a few of the under 21s, a few people or a few kids that are coming through the academy, we're supposed to have one of the best academies in the Premier League. Why not play them? Why not play them? So I'm going to stick my neck on the line here, and I'm going to say, even if we are ill prepared, even if we don't have the players that we want to have back for this game, and this game does go ahead, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I'm going for Arsenal to pick up a point at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, even with a depleted squad. Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think? And before we go, I've got a couple of comments to read out. First up, we have Artinis. Big up Artinis, returning subscriber. How are we doing, Artinis? Big up yourself. Hope you are well. And we have Seawood Drums. Big up Seawood Drums. Haven't seen you here before. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you ain't already. Big up yourself. I appreciate the love. So there you go, guys. North London Derby preview. It's not the same as a normal preview, of course, because we're still in the land of the unknown. But I'm sure we will find out sooner or later if this game is going ahead. And as I said, make sure, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're smashing the notification bell as well. Seawood Drums is subscribed. Big up yourself. And yeah, that's about all we can do for now until we hear any more news. Come on, Premier League, get your fucking fingers out your asses, mate. We need to know what's happening. Peace. I'm out.